Welcome to Wind Down Wednesdays. I am Isabelle Masozera. Here we sip, we share, we learn, we grow, and we hope that we can do that collectively. So this space is a safe space. I don't need to leave holding something as if it was a secret. Yes. This is not a secret. This is my stories. We have so much more coming up on Wind Down Wednesdays. The show is only getting started. Welcome to Wind Down Wednesdays. I am Isabelle Masozera. Here we sip, we share, we learn, we grow, and we hope that we can do that collectively. So this space is a safe space. And today I am delighted to be joined by an incredible soul. This lovely woman is a professional coach. She's a moderator. She is interested in making sure we all are empowered, we grow, and she shares everything she learns. And today that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Isabelle, for having me.
We've been talking about getting together and talking and sharing, and I'm glad that we get to do this, but also we bring our AMA family along. How have you been doing?
I've been doing amazing. I'm grateful.
My mom usually asks, how is your heart doing?
Oh, my heart is at peace. My heart is healing.
It is healing.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels, it's too many feelings together. Because when you are on your journey to healing, sometimes you feel so good because you are looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Yes. You're so proud of yourself. Yeah. But at the same time, you're like, okay, so how long is it going to take? Because you have to feel every feeling. Yes. You have to actually embrace your reality. Mm-hmm. So it's different feelings, but in the end, you're just proud of yourself. Like, absolutely. I can do this.
Yeah, proud of the work that you put in. But let's go back a little bit, right? I am quite familiar with your story, but some of our family might not be familiar with it. Let's go back to where it all began. What was your childhood like?
My childhood was, I should say, a happy childhood. A happy childhood because I have been adopted, and my adoptive family, which is my family, my parents, they're incredible people. The most loving people, literally angels. And my sisters, my brothers, we're very close, and that's how we grew up. So we're surrounded by so much love, and they really gave us everything they could give us. So if I should say, like, what was your childhood like in one word, I would just say it was a happy and fulfilling one. But people ask themselves, so how was it a happy childhood, yet you were a different child or you were a different person?
Adopted, yeah.
Yes, you are adopted. And of course, that comes with the feeling of, yeah, I'm different, I'm adopted. And when you learn that, it just hits you. You're just so young. Yeah. You're like, okay, so my biological parents are not here.
Yeah.
Okay, so why?
How old were you when you were adopted?
I was 3 years old because that was right after the genocide against the Tutsi. So I was born in 91 and the end of March. So I just turned 3 years old. So I was so young. I have no memory whatsoever. I don't remember anything. I don't remember the faces, the voices of my parents. Like, I never had a chance to know them, my biological parents. So the first memory that I have, I was with my adoptive parents. And I was with my brothers and sisters. So
do you feel like that made it a little bit easier not to have that visual memory imprinted in your mind of your parents to embrace and welcome this new relationship with your adopted parents?
I think, I don't know if it made it easier or not, because also you will go through life answering yourself questions that will never be answered.
Yes.
It's like forever you're going to ask yourself, how are they like what was their personalities. You just want, like, you wish you known them at least, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was so easy for me to embrace the love of the parents that I know. So I think, yes, somehow it made it easier.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I had to learn how to actually live with my reality.
Were you able to internalize what had happened to your parents? How much of it were you exposed to? And also, how did you find out that your parents had died?
Well, so growing up, I have many sisters, and I feel like they wanted to protect me because I was so young. You don't tell a 3-year-old that this and this happened.
Yes.
So they really wanted to protect me, and they never told me anything. And I was just a happy child, you know, just my personality naturally was just so happy. But, you know, when people come over, aunties or people who knew you before,
Yes.
they will say things like, oh, you look like your mother. Oh, she's the last born. Now she's growing up. And I'm like, who is that mother they're talking about? I started asking myself questions. So I feel like the first time I got to know about that, I overheard it. You know, kids will overhear things. Like, okay, so they said this, they say that. And also going to school and people will be like, you know, especially like your classmates, like, you look like so-and-so, you don't look like so-and-so. And I started asking myself those questions. And I think if I recall well, I asked my sister like about that. And she says something like, yeah, it's true. Like, this is not our mother. Like, why? Like, okay, what happened? And she explained to me what happened. And I remember feeling so bad. I literally felt like my heart was broken. Just learning that that happened to someone who was so close to me, someone who carried me for 9 months. And immediately I felt like this was not something good that happened to me. And I decided at a very young age that no one was going to know about that. So growing up, I was hiding it.
You're still watching Wind Down Wednesdays with Isabelle Masozera. I remember to use the hashtag sip and share. We want to hear from you. We're talking about trauma healing, finding purpose, and processing and dealing with loss. These are things we all interact with in our daily lives. Irma, you were talking to me about how you first found out that your parents had died during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Your instinctive reaction was to keep that as a secret close to your chest. Why? What informed that decision? Have you done the work to figure out why that was?
I think the first reason I didn't want to face that, because I knew if I face it, it's going to be painful, and I didn't want to experience the pain. And
so as long as you kept it to yourself, you didn't have to.
Exactly. So I didn't want to think about it, just keep it for myself. And so that way I'm not going to feel the pain. And second, I just felt like being an orphan is something, that I wasn't proud of. I felt like I didn't like that part of my story, of myself.
Wow.
And I don't know, I just feel like it instantly created an insecurity in me, or just kind of killed my confidence as a child, because, when you are young, like just talking about mommy, daddy, and the fact that I knew the truth that, okay, so actually my biological parents are not here, so who am I going to brag about? And I was like, so for this thing not to kill my confidence, because already down inside, I felt different. I was like, I'm just going to hide it. So I just decided, and my personality helped, because I'm all the time wearing a smile. I love people, I'm just a social butterfly, love interacting. And I've been like this ever since. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna keep my smile.
I'm just sail this pain.
Nobody will see, nobody will know. And in fact, all my friends like they had both parents, and I made sure. I made sure.
You decided to choose the people that were able to help you make this lie or this secret disappear. Like you just
Yeah.
have to blend into their reality.
Yes, yes. And I remember even going to boarding school. So there were like associations of survivors, you know, like just so that it can come together and talk about their traumas.
Yeah.
I never got close to them. Like I don't want to be found there.
Yeah.
That was really my way of dealing with it, just hiding it.
Just hiding it. And at what point did you turn the corner? What informed that?
So you'll be very surprised because it's not a very long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to China for my studies in 2012. And that was my first time to actually live by myself.
Yeah.
Spending more time with myself. Because I grew up in a large family and I was all the time surrounded by people. I love people. I've always had a lot of friends. I mean, I didn't really like me being by myself.
Yes.
I hated the me time thing.
Yes.
Because if I'm by myself, I'm going to think. And if I think,
You
I'll
have
ask
to
myself
face the
questions.
reality.
And I face the
Yes.
reality.
Yes,
And I
yes.
hated that part of me. So being by myself in a foreign country, and I had to spend some time with myself, I started thinking. And I started actually asking myself questions. I started remembering like scenarios, words, comments that made me feel bad. And I was like, wow, this hurts. Something that I've avoided my entire life. Now I had to face it.
Yes.
And I remember I started journaling. I started writing my thoughts, my feelings, how I feel, like remembering what happened to me at 9 years old, 12 years old, 18, 17. I would just remember things and write them down. And little did I know, I have started my healing journey because I've started expressing that, even though it was on paper.
Yeah, because you're writing your truth. You can lie to everybody else, but it's sort of hard to lie to yourself, especially if you're at that point of putting it down. What would you say was the biggest revelation in that moment, in those moments of journaling about your story?
In those moments of journaling, writing my story, the biggest revelation, first of all, was that, wow, those feelings you've kept, they've actually led you to different decisions. So sometimes we keep something to ourselves, but we ignore the fact that that belief that we have is actually shaping us. It is the belief that's leading us to do things.
And sometimes those things might not even be positive.
Exactly.
Which actually brings me to my next question. For a lot of people, often when you lose the people that are supposed to love and protect you, and that for most of us, it's your parents, they tend to fill that void with trying to find that in other things. It could be in other people to love them. It could be abuse of substances. It could be drugs. It could be like a whole range of things. Was that something you ever struggled with?
Well, I was so blessed and lucky to find faith or to find God at a very young age, because I committed to Christ when I was 18 years old. So, and of course I grew up in a Christian family, but I had my personal encounter and my personal revelation of God when I was just 18. So that gave me like a pathway that helped me a lot. It was like my support system,
Yes.
knowing that I have a Father in heaven. But at the same time, I didn't really have that understanding deeply, because I find out that I always craved for that father figure.
Yes.
Always crave for that authority over my life. Always crave for that like unconditional love, But having the truth that, oh, I have a Father in heaven, I'm not alone. That healed me in a way, and that helped me, keep some balance in my life. So I totally understand when people have a void in their hearts, especially when they are avoiding it they are avoiding to face it. They can try to find so many things and
The escapes and
escapes
distractions.
and especially addictions, because most of the times when you are addicted to something, it's because you are trying to fill up a void that's trauma.
Yes.
You have a trauma in you and you don't want to heal it, you don't want to face it, and you just find like something, to make you feel better, make
Sort
you
of like
feel
a
good.
painkiller. Yes.
It's sort of like a painkiller, but you're not going to the roots. You're not healing the root cause. You're not addressing like that feeling, that void. You're just going at the surface, but you have to be like willing to go deeper.
Yeah. What are some of the other tools that you used on your process of trauma healing? Because I know it's a journey. I know it's an everyday walk. But apart from journaling, was there any other thing that helped you?
I think the other thing that helped me, it was being able to talk about it openly, sharing, just sharing.
And when was the first time you felt that you could share openly? And how was that experience for you?
The first time I shared my story openly, it was in 2019, in April. And I remember I just decided I was going to share to my people who were close to me, but at the same time, it was like my decision to share it online on social media, on my social media platforms.
Yes.
And I remember like my close people reaching out to me. They were like, "Oh my God, so are you traumatized now? Oh, are you sure you're okay?" I'm like, I think for the first time I'm okay, because this is actually a huge step in my healing journey.
And I want to learn a little bit more, but for you who's watching us, trauma and pain and loss, these are things that we all experience every single day. We're listening to Irma sharing with us some of the tools that she used to process, but also to heal. When you think about everything that you've been through, I feel like there's been a lot of pivots for you. Life has thrown you all sorts of couples since you were a little girl, but you seem to have risen above all of that. But talking about that state when you first say, "I'm ready to tell my story," that's something that a lot of people, it's not an easy thing. Did it feel like a weight had been lifted off your shoulders?
It really did. It felt like a weight had been lifted on my shoulders, and it felt like, finally, I don't need to leave holding something as if it was a secret.
Yes.
This is not a secret. This is my past. This is my story. I
yes.
want to own my story, and I don't want to be defined by my story as well. I'm an individual. I'm like, I chose to look at my life as a miracle. I wanted to change the narrative. I didn't want to be called a genocide survivor that has to hide it and that has to think about her parents only in April.
Yes.
No, I can think about them all the time.
Powerful. That is powerful.
Yeah.
That is powerful.
Yeah, I can think about them all the time. And the way I think about them, I need to remind myself that, Irma, you're here because of the great purpose that God has created you to fulfill. You're not here by accident. You are here because God wanted you to be here. So I need to remind myself that.
Yes, yes,
and I need to tell people, no matter how you grew up, no matter what happened to you at a young age, no matter what kind of traumas you went through, no matter whatever that has happened to you, if you are here, it is because you matter. And it's because you have a purpose, a great purpose. And it is because so many people depend on you. You are here to impact your generation.
Yeah.
You are here because you are gifted, and the world needs your giftings.
Listening to you, the passion with which you speak, the things that you've been able to achieve when tragedy strikes, you can choose to survive, or you can choose to actually survive and thrive. My guest today chose Balata. And Irma, I want to know, why was that important to you? Because all your steps seem to be very intentional and they all lead up to, I'm going to not just survive, I'm going to heal, but I'm also going to impact other people. You've been so passionate about women and everybody really creating wealth, finding their own purpose. You're coaching people to also go onto that journey. And I want to know what inspired that? Why is that very important to you?
It is so important to me because I think the way I felt from the inside, on the inside, I didn't feel powerful. I didn't feel confident. I didn't feel beautiful at all. I remember so well people telling me how beautiful I was. I didn't believe it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Extremely beautiful.
Thank you so much. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe I was beautiful. I didn't believe I was powerful. I didn't believe I had something to offer. I knew I was good. Like I was a brilliant child in school. I always had like the best grades, but I think it's the only thing I could see tangibly. But on the inside, I just felt like a survivor. I was like, actually, I wasn't even supposed to be here. So I had really that, I was down from the inside. And I could see, like, I always had a creative mind. I always had that passion for languages, for words. I'm a thinker, and I analyze things. I knew I was smart, but I was afraid just to put it out there. I struggled so much, like with so many things I was able to do, but at the same time, I'm like, who's gonna listen to me?
Yes.
Who is gonna do this? Who is gonna do that? And because I've seen myself going on a journey and overcoming those saboteur voices that were so loud.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I want to help everybody achieve this.
Yes.
I want to help everybody achieve this. I want to see people become the best version of themselves. I want to see people actually tap into their potential. I want to see people become what God created them to become.
Yes.
Because I felt horrible for the longest time. And now that I'm delivered, now that I'm free, I want to free others as well.
That's beautiful.
So I feel like the passion that I have to help others, it comes from my own experience. I know how horrible it feels to know that you're so capable, you're capable of so much, but at the same time, you're so afraid. Like you are your own hindrance. You are your own, like, you're blocking yourself. You're blocking your progress. So the work starts from within.
Yes.
That's why I decided to even go for the courses to become a professional coach. Because it starts with the personal work. And if you are good, like if you have done the work from inside, you as a person, then you can take it, to your entrepreneurship level,
Yes.
professional level, but it starts with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very beautifully said. I want our Amy family to learn a little something, and I want to learn a little something from you when it comes to some of the things that we can do, be intentional about when it comes to feeding our self-esteem, to, shutting and quieting those voices that tell us we can't do it. We're not good enough. We are just but our past and our stories and what, the world tells us we are. What do you do when those voices come up? Are there any practical things we could borrow?
Yes, absolutely. There's so many practical things because it's not just theories. And if you keep them as theories, you just have knowledge of things, but in practice, you won't see results.
Yes,
exactly. So the first thing I tell people, and I tell myself, is that you really have to sit down with yourself. Just sit down with yourself. Take that time. It's so important. And then you start asking yourself questions. Who am I? Okay. And when people ask themselves the question, who am I? Immediately, they think about what they do.
Yes. I was going to go there. Who am I? I'm Isabelle Masozera. I am a journalist. I'm the founder of Masozera Africa. I'm a mother. And yeah, that's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind. How should we be answering that?
Who am I? Then it means, okay, what do you love to do? Like, who are you? Your personality.
Uh-huh.
I am a happy person. I laugh a lot. Or I love to read. I'm a thinker. Like, you start going deep, just who you are as a person. When you're by yourself in your room, who are you?
Who are you when no one's watching?
When no one's watching. Okay, do you enjoy listening to music? Do you enjoy reading a book? Who are you as a person? Okay, and then what do I enjoy doing? What do I enjoy doing? And you are going into your strength. What do I do well? What do I do effortlessly? What's hard for me to do? Then you go into your weaknesses. And the more you start asking yourself questions like that, you are getting to know yourself as a person.
Yeah, but I want also our Amy family to do this with us, right? So you can share with us your list or you can keep it personal. But I am definitely going to do this tonight. Sit down and ask myself, who is Isabelle Masozera? What do I love? What are my strengths? What are those things that feed my soul? Let's jot down some of the things because I feel like these are things that can make us better and we can grow from. Okay, tell us some more. What else should we be asking ourselves?
You know, so when you've asked yourself, like, who am I? Like, what do I like doing? What do I enjoy doing? What keeps me awake at night? What do I constantly think about?
Should we also be asking ourselves our weak points in terms of the areas that we need to work on?
Exactly.
Or is that something
But I
completely
always,
different?
it is also important, but I want the people that are watching us to really start with the strong points. I want you to focus on what you do well. I want you to focus on like who you are, like start with the positive things because that's what I want you to focus on.
Yes.
I want you to nurture your strength. Because most of the time, what do? We just focus on what we can't do. We focus on the weaknesses.
Oh, yes.
I cannot do this. I cannot do that.
The negative voices are
They're too loud.
so loud. Yes.
They're so loud.
Yes.
So, and when you ask yourself those questions, then you are starting to locate your passion. You are starting to locate what makes you feel alive. What sets your soul on fire. You're locating it. And then you decide, okay, so what makes me feel inspired? Because remember, when you
What makes me happy? What am I good at? What makes me feel inspired? And for those of you who've been wondering, and I know I asked myself this for a very long time in my 20s, how do I find my purpose? What is my vision? What is my vision, my mission? My vision, my mission, my purpose. And these are questions that we ask ourselves a lot. And I feel like this is a great way to get there. What makes me happy? What feeds my soul? What sets my soul on fire?
Exactly. And then after that, the other important thing is really to control or to make sure that anything you allow yourself to listen to, the 5 senses are so important. What do you watch? What do you listen to? Because that's
Okay.
That's the entryway.
Okay, I love where we're going now. This is getting more interesting. So it's not just enough to know who you are. You also need to know how to feed it, how to protect it, how to guard it,
Absolutely.
how to nurture it.
Absolutely. So it's like you are discovering the person that you are. And then now you need to help that person grow. You need to nurture the person. And how do you nurture the person? It is through what you listen to.
I wish we had more time because I want to also get into a very interesting conversation to talk about some of the ways that we can protect. Because we do a lot of amazing work, walking the process, finding out who we are, nurturing it. But then if we don't protect it, what have we built all of this for?
Exactly.
It's the down the cliff phenomena all over again. You build yourself up and the world tears you down. So setting boundaries is a conversation I want to get into with you a little later on. But in the interest of time, skipping to this place that you've come, it's been so heartwarming just seeing your face glow and smile, yet talking about some of the most difficult, points to even put across, and it's probably taken tremendous work for you to get here. And I am so proud of you for being open to doing that work. For a lot of people, pain is scary. Peeling those layers, that's not something, that's brave work to do. And because of that, the world gets to benefit from the woman that you are today. But I want to get into some of the things that you're doing. So yes, the podcast. Why the podcast to begin with? What did you want to achieve with that space? And what are some of the things that you're exploring? And how can people get to listen to it?
Oh, yeah. So I decided to start this Lady Irma podcast because I wanted to create a safe space for people to come and talk about their journeys. I wanted to create that space where we can share. We're on a journey of life. I can learn from you, you can learn from me. I just wanted people to talk about their journeys, like success journeys. But at the same time, I wanted people to share knowledge, their success. How can I be successful like you? Tell me, give me tips. Because I believe the journey is for a lesson, and I believe in sharing lessons.
Yes.
And I believe each one of us is unique. So learning from each other, I wanted to create that space.
That should be the cycle of life. We
Exactly.
learn, we teach.
Exactly.
We learn some more.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm very passionate, especially about three things. So I talk a lot about purpose, finding the reason, the why of your life. I really talk
That's
about
powerful. That is powerful.
yeah.
Finding the why.
Yeah, because I believe most of the issues that we have, that we deal with, is because we don't understand ourselves.
Yes.
And we don't actually believe that we're here for a purpose. I still remember, it's so fresh. It was in 2009 when I heard the voice of God for the first time. It was literally telling me, you are not an accident. You're here for a purpose. I was like, why? Okay, I thought I was a survivor. I thought I was just here. But no, your life has meaning. That is the first thing. I feel like it's the foundation. So I talk about purpose and I talk about healing, because I believe if we're just going through life with so many wounds in our souls, it's going to affect every area of our lives.
Yes.
If you have a wounded soul, it's going to affect your relationships. It's going to affect your work. It's going to affect so many things, because everything you're doing is, just a reaction out of the wound. And thirdly, I speak about transformation. I want to see transformed lives. I actually want to see someone discovering their purpose, going through a journey of healing, and actually create amazing stuff, amazing things. How can you monetize your talents? How can you monetize your gift?
Because that is key. That is key. And I feel like, not to cut you short about the podcast. Oh, by the way, you can learn more about the podcast. You can learn more about the podcast and you can enjoy it. Where can they find it?
So it's on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
Lady Irma Podcast, or you type Irma Ihumure. Immediately you will see the podcast.
Okay. One of the things that just put a smile on my face is fashion. And looking at you bask in it. Now, you recently actually started your own fashion brand, IMY.
Yes.
What does IMY mean?
So IMY, it stands for the names of the people who founded that fashion line.
Yes.
So myself, and so we are three of us. So it's I, Irma, and M, Micheline, and Y, Ivani. So the three of us, we sat together and we decided, let's create something amazing. Let's just create a fashion line. So, and it came up with IMY, Imi, and we're like, yeah, it's simple, and yeah, let's just do it.
Yes,
so we want to help women, look good
and feel good.
and feel
When
good.
you look good, you feel good.
Oh
And
my God.
sometimes, and I know, a friend of mine always says, no, it can't be that superficial. We have to do internal work. Yes, you have to do internal work. But sometimes there's power in a red pair of heels. You can step out, you can
I love it.
feel good, you can take the world. So I am all for the fashion brand.
Yeah.
And it's coming soon. When is it launching?
It's coming soon. We haven't decided the date yet because we are still working on the first collection. So it's just we just want to create something like just help women.
We are
styling
going to be getting exclusive information for when it's launching, so
Exactly.
our Amy family can have access to these
Exactly. And
incredible
another thing I
products.
can add on, so it's going to be two things, not only the clothes
Yes.
or just the fashion thing, because it's in two parts. So we have Amy Couture, which is like anything, everything that goes with clothing, And also we have Amy Interiors and Furniture.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is like, yes, please.
Exactly.
Yes,
So because we
please.
are about creating beauty, amplifying beauty,
Yes.
and if I look good, I want to make sure that my home, my space, my office looks amazing as
It
well.
makes me feel good. 'Cause
Exactly.
Stress wellness
Exactly.
is a real thing.
It
It
is.
is healing when you are in a space that just feeds you.
Yeah, so we will have interiors, we'll have
Mm.
furnitures, and at the same time, we'll have clothes. So stay tuned. It's just going to be amazing, and it's just cooking. I'll keep informing everyone.
Yes. Being able to guard this space, to guard this smile, to guard this energy can't be easy feat. So I want us to talk about triggers. Because for a lot of people who've gone through trauma and are on their healing journey, those are moments that just pull you back. There'll always be that little something that just takes you back to, a few steps behind. Have you identified triggers for yourself?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so many triggers. But of course, the more you heal, the less you are triggered.
Yes, yes.
I feel like it's the indication of like how far you've gone on your healing journey. But yeah, sometimes like
The more you
especially,
heal, the more less triggering these things become, or
Yeah.
the more in control you are when you're triggered.
it's like I would say it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
For you, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. So it's like the more you heal, the more, let's say, what used to trigger you, when it hits you again, your reaction is different. Your reaction is different. So the triggers can be there, but your reaction, how you in control, is different. But of course, especially when people are talking about the story of the genocide against the Tutsi, you are triggered, especially the people who don't understand it, who are denying it. You're denying it. I lost a very big part of my family. I lost so many people, and you were denying it, and you were so triggered. You literally feel like you want to fight. And also things, especially when people are celebrating, and you're like, oh, your parents will be so proud of you, and you're like, they've touched somewhere, because you can't change it, you cannot bring them back. But at the same time, you're like, I have other parents, and they can be proud of me as well.
So you turn towards positive.
Exactly. In that moment, you really have to learn, because you don't want to be so much consumed by something you can't change, yet you have so many things to appreciate. So it's really how you learn to, to accept it within your heart. Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself mentally? And I know this can be true for a lot of people, especially survivors. Going into Churnamo cannot be easy.
Yeah.
In April, everything stands still.
Yeah.
This can't be easy for you, especially. What do you do when you're approaching that period? Is it something that you intentionally prepare for? Or is it something that you now are just okay and it's just another month?
Yeah. So here's the thing. the first thing I really want to talk about is genocide survivors. The first thing I really want to emphasize on, we don't remember them only in April.
Yeah.
Because I really want to stress on this. Because if you hear somebody talking about their loved ones on a regular day, people have a tendency of treating them differently. Like, oh, are you traumatized or something? No, it's normal. It's normal. Something reminded them, or I don't know. It's just normal because those were their parents, the brother or the sisters. You see, so it's not that we remember them only in April, but because the genocide happened in April, and that is like commemoration for the entire country. It's also a special time. But for me, because I know I have a mission to help people, I have a mission to heal. It's like April for me is so special and different, because I always see myself as someone who is just not there to remember or to mourn, but someone who is there to support others emotionally.
In that time.
In that time. Wow. In that time. I feel like my voice is so important. And I won't stop. I won't stop reminding the survivors that, hey, the reason why you're here is because you're special.
Yeah.
Everybody can be special, but you are special,
Extra special.
Extra special.
Yes.
So reminding them that this is the time for you to be grateful for your life. When I bring flowers, at the tomb of my mom, and I'm just, because my dad and my big brother, they're not buried in Kigali. They're in the southern province. So they were killed in 2 different places. So every time when I bring flowers there, of course I have this pain, this sadness, but at the same time I'm like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here for a mission. I'm here because my life is a miracle. I'm here, and God knew that I had to be here. So it's not only sadness. No, it's more of being grateful. It's more of remembering how special I am. My love, my compassion, all the gifts that God has bestowed on me. It is more of me just, looking at myself and remembering, Irma, you have an assignment and you have a generation to impact. And this is what I want people to know, especially everyone who has gone through pain. It is because you are special.
There's purpose to the pain.
There is purpose to that. So you don't have to waste your pain. Please, don't waste that pain. Don't go into drugs. Don't try to camouflage that. Embrace it. You have to look at your scars and be like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I went through this because I had to show people that you can go through hell and come out victorious.
Wow. That is powerful. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. We're going to take a short break, but do stay with us. You're still watching Wind Down Wednesdays. Isabelle and Lady Irma. We're glad you're with us today. We're talking about loss, trauma healing, finding purpose. And Lady Irma just took us on her journey and was gracious to be vulnerable and share with us not only the successes, but some of the struggles, the lessons that she's had along the way. I'm challenging you to also perhaps think about doing the work, or just do the work. And if you feel you need the help, reach out. We're here to help. Lady Irma, thank you for sharing with us.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Isabelle.
I know during the break, we were just talking about, I was telling you how you sharing that just took me to a personal space that was so painful in my life. And just hearing you say that and the emotion that brought out in me, and say thank you.
Thank you for that. Welcome.
Thank you for that. How do you get here? The grace, the strength, being brave to tell your story. I know you talked a lot about purpose,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure there's a question that is befitting what I want to say to you right now. So maybe I won't ask the question and I'll just say thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. And what I can say to the people watching us is just that it's a journey. So don't expect to heal overnight. It's not that you're just going to wake up and you feel like, oh, I'm different. No, it is something you have to do intentionally, day after day. Just revisit the hurting parts of you. And remember, your soul has many layers. So sometimes you touch one layer and you think it's enough. And then you get triggered and you just realize that, okay, I thought I was healed.
And then
be patient with
whole
yourself.
space that you need to do.
Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. And the only way is to, it's like the negativity, the pain is already there. So how do you keep filling your soul with so much positivity and so much life that it changes the game? So it's like you have some dirt in the water and you don't want to pour the water. So you keep filling the cup with clean water.
Okay.
And at some point, the clean water is going to dominate all the dirt that was, at the bottom of the glass. That's how it works. So you don't focus on removing the pain. You focus on filling yourself up with life, with positivity.
You choose light.
You choose light. Because the more you teach people, oh, you need to heal, you need to forget this, you need to... How can I forget something that happened to me? How can I...
Part of me.
It's a part of me. It's my blood. Those were my parents. That's my big brother that I never got a chance to know. So it's impossible to forget them.
Yeah.
But I just need to keep reminding myself of the why, of the reason I am here. And that has to be so powerful and greater than the pain and the past.
Yeah.
Because your past is going to pull you anyways.
Yes.
So it is how you build yourself up. It is how heavy your future is so it can pull you up.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's not, don't focus on trying to forget something, it's impossible. Don't try hard to I just want to forget the hurt and the pain. No, if you try that, that's how you are leading yourself into addictions.
Yes.
Because it's like you're trying to...
You're numbing. You're choosing to quiet something. And obviously, you're going to find louder things and more harmful things.
Do you see that? So it's like you are in between.
Yeah.
And there is your past and there is your future. So just make sure your future is heavier so it can pull you up.
Gratitude, light, and I know that there's a saying that I've been leaning towards. I don't remember if it was Oprah that said there's always two choices every morning that you wake up. You can choose light, and light is where love and happiness dwell, or you can choose darkness, and darkness is where death lies. So if there are clear decisions before you, one is choose light, one is choose darkness, I think it's better to choose light.
Choose light. Choose life. Choose life. And how do you do that? It really has to be in a more practical way.
Mm-hmm.
The environment.
Oh, yes.
Who do you surround yourself with?
Yes.
What are you allowing to enter you? What are you consuming? You don't have to consume things that are depressing you, that are putting you down. Consume things that are making yourself alive, that lighting you up, that's what you should consume.
And we want to learn from you because this is what Sip and Share is all about. It's all about tapping in, sharing some hacks. So I want to know what fills you up. Where do you draw joy? What's your happy place?
Oh my God, I think my happy place is, first of all, when I'm by myself.
Oh, wow. You're one of the few. a lot of people do not know how to be with themselves. Later on, be happy when they are with themselves and silent.
I used to be those people.
That takes work.
It really does. So when I'm by myself, I think I'm an ambivert. I'm an ambivert. So a lot of people who know me from far, they identify me as an extrovert. But I think I know I'm an ambivert. So I'm a social butterfly. I love people. I connect with people easily.
Yes,
but
that's what
I
it
need
looks like, unless
I mean, that's really who
from
I am.
the Instagram and the social
It is true.
media where
It
we
is
judge people.
It is true. I'm really extroverted in that sense. But I always need my time to recharge.
Okay, so, that's ambivert. I actually thought, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, you see, like I need that.
So you're
that
still
time.
introverted in a sense.
In a
even though
sense,
you're
because I'm so in
extrovert.
touch with myself, you know. And when I'm just there, like praying and meditating and thinking,
That's how you
you know,
feel
and I listen. I have to listen to either is it the Word of God that I'm listening to? Is it a podcast? Anything that's inspiring me. I need to make sure that I listen to the right voice. Because the voice you're listening to is shaping your future.
And that's very important.
It is so
Irma,
important.
because, and the reason I say that is, it's interesting because in as much as you say you're a little introverted, you're doing a lot of public things. You're hosting events, you're in people's faces teaching.
Yeah.
So all of these things are out there. And I want to talk about this, especially because I usually use introverted extrovert when I refer to myself, because I'm just like you. When I'm not on TV, here radio, here, hosting events, I'm just like you. But I'm extremely shy and I'm extremely introverted. Even though it doesn't look like
You
that.
don't look like
Yeah,
shy.
yes, I get that a lot. But if I don't when I do an event, I have to take a day off. Otherwise, I'll crash. I have to take a day off and and be alone and fill myself up, because otherwise I'll live and feel sick. Like every part of me is broken because I have to use so much energy to be present for so many people. Yeah, and so talking about these things, and I hope you're learning a little something. So if you're like her and if you're like me, I hope that you realize that it's so important for you to recharge. She goes to the Word of God. I meditate. What do you do? What do you do? And if you're not doing anything, please find it.
Yeah, you need
It
to
is
recharge.
important,
It is
yeah.
so important. And like especially people like us who are in the public eye, like it's very draining.
Yes.
Attention is draining. So the more you get like so much attention on you, it's going to drain you.
It
So it is energy that you're giving. Your presence is energetic, you know, and you're giving that away. People are taking that from you.
Smile.
You have to smile. You have to
hype everybody up.
Exactly. So me, I'm not shy, never been shy in my life. But at the same time, I can feel that energy is leaving me,
Yes.
because I've been around so many people. And also,
Oh, wow. I've never actually had or thought of it that way.
Yeah.
You're releasing.
you're releasing energy.
is
It's leaving you.
So you need to get it back.
Exactly. You need to recharge. You need to sit still. You need to reconnect with your soul, with yourself, and like through the Word of God, through prayer, through meditation. But you have to really get in touch with yourself and just recharge and have your mind still. We're living in a world full of distractions, and everything is just at war, and they want our attention. So how do we survive this world?
And it's coming at you like the flashlight speed, like work, expectations, everything.
Expectations, emails.
Especially even the moms that are listening to us right now, like myself. You have all these things happening at work, but you also have to be present 100% when you are at home with your children. So imagine you're coming, you've released that much energy at work, you've released that much energy at events, and you're coming to your home where you should be giving of yourself as well. So yeah, that is important. Oh, I hate that our time is past spent. But I want to ask my last question today. First of all, before I even go there, I can't stop saying thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the energy that you're putting into this world. Speaking with your platforms, sharing your story. I know, for those of you that have read I know we have something from you on Masozera Africa, so go to the website, you get to know a little bit about her, but also check out her social media pages, her YouTube, great stuff there. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Keep sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
It's definitely healing me listening to you, and I know it's healing a lot of people that follow you and keep listening to
you so much.
And we hope that you come back.
I will.
But my last question is a 2-in-1. Where are you at right now in your healing journey? And also, what are some of the latest lessons that you have learned that you feel have shaped how you show up today, and also who you are, in a sense?
Where I am right now in my healing journey, I am at a place of coming to a deeper understanding of myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Understanding myself in a deeper way, figuring out like who I am truly, especially when you are a person who is wearing many hats, multi-talented people. Like I love to refer myself as a prism of many colors.
That's beautiful.
So if you are that kind of person, you have so many voices that are discouraging you. They try to show you how you're doing everything. No, it's not that I'm doing everything. I'm built different. I'm built different. So coming to understanding myself is where I am right now. And the more I understand myself, the more I understand my passions, the more I'm determining to actually perfect my craft, bringing my gifts to the highest level of excellence. The more my confidence is growing. Because, confidence comes with who you are as a person. Like real confidence.
Understanding yourself.
Understanding yourself, who you are.
Essence of you.
Because that's the only thing that can kill comparison.
That is true.
That's the only thing. And how can we stop comparing ourselves? We are exposed to excellence, literally. Like we see perfect bodies, perfect everything. So if you don't really understand yourself, you're just gonna be comparing yourself every day, and it's just going to create insecurities in you. So I think everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
The more you heal, the more you understand yourself, the more your confidence is built, the more you become consistent with what you are developing, what you are building, and that consistency is going to create momentum. And the more you achieve that place of momentum, you are going towards your destiny.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Isabelle.
You have touched my heart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
This has been amazing. But hey, the show is only getting started. What a joy, what an honor to be here with such an incredible, lovely human being that is Lady Irma. We have so much more coming up on Wine Down Wednesdays, but for now, that's it for sipping and sharing. We hope you learned, and we hope you keep growing. Wow. What an amazing experience meeting Lady Irma. I think she is just as amazing as you imagine her. Meeting her in real life was just a treat. Her grace, her electric energy, her joy that just shines through, even when she's talking about some of the most complex topics. I've learned so much today, and my take home is it's okay to thrive, but I want to take this away from this experience, that you can choose to thrive, not just survive.